Crash landed into the field, nothing there but a Ferris wheel. Stars and stripes gonna strangle my world is something I feel, something I heard. It's Independence Day, they were ripping civil rights away. Constitution's in the ashtray, this regime tried to wipe us all away. Cause school money went bombs away, school books went MIA. Don't shop, I disobey. Keep your gun, everything is okay. Everybody gotta die someday. Everybody gotta go down in their way. Say what you feel what you say. Maybe we'll love our neighbors someday, just a little bit more. But I think I'm gonna fly away. Move my stuff to France today. I think I'm gonna fly away. When my gravity fades, gonna burn my sage, gonna thank my days, gonna paint my face. When my gravity fades, gonna thank my days. It's Independence Day, they were ripping civil rights away. Constitution's in the ashtray, this regime tried to wipe us all away. Cause school money went bombs away, school books went MIA. I don't shop, I disobey. Keep your gun, that's what they say. Everybody gotta die someday. Everybody gotta go down in their way, yeah. Say what you feel what you say. Maybe we'll love our neighbors someday, just a little bit more. But I think I'm gonna fly away. Move my stuff to France today. I think I'm gonna fly away.
I know that you're a musician, and we've had opportunities to play together, perform together in Ventura, but I don't know a lot about you or your history. And I understand that you went to Ventura High School, but were you born in Ventura, or where did you come from?
Well, I was born in a house in LA that isn't there anymore. And then when I was 3, we moved up to Oxnard, and then all through until I was 20 years old, you know, just moved around Ventura to different houses and ended up, you know, living really close to Ventura High. So, yeah.
You graduate from Ventura High?
Yeah, I graduated from Ventura High and, you know, did a little city college, but really just started working jobs and traveling, you know. Went on a road trip and ended up in New Orleans in 1999, and just, you know, it was the end of a road trip of me and a good friend, this girl, who I was pretty in love with, and, you know, we landed in New Orleans a month and a half after taking off from Ventura, and just went our separate ways, and started from scratch, really, and had no money, you know, and was in this new place, and it just gave me, like, total shock, you know, of how different of a place this was, but it was still America, you know.
How different New Orleans was from Ventura.
Yeah, and then, you know, coming back to Ventura after that, and just, like, being so bored with, like, how white the sidewalks were, you know, or nothing was messed up. It was all so clean, you know, and they were actually kind of turning it into Santa Barbara at that point, you know, and all the history of Main Street and the cool artists and stuff were just kind of, you know, the rent was getting high, so they couldn't be there anymore. And so, yeah, it just, it bored me to be here, but it was also comforting because, you know, the weather and my old friends and stuff too, but yeah.
So the trip to New Orleans, or the experience in New Orleans, how much time did you spend while you were there?
I spent 9 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you know, I landed there in like September, and it was really hot. I remember, you know, so hot. I've never felt like, you know, I've been in the desert, but it was just, you couldn't get away from it because it was humid, you know. But I came back, and I came back to California, and then I would go back there. I'd go back to New Orleans, like from Mardi Gras to Jazz Fest, and my aunt's best friend, actually, this woman who's named Oliver, just kind of became like my mentor, you know. I've known her my whole life, and she's a costume maker down there, so she knows everybody, of course, and she's a brilliant person, you know, and just in every which way, you know. She's maybe 4'11", and like, you know, the most energetic person you ever met, and great stories of my family that I heard, you know, like stuff that I was too young to know about. I learned from her, but yeah, so like an accumulative time of probably 4 years I've spent there. The mercury that's in my veins, it's receiving a signal. Feel like I'm in charm. Laughing gases cut, coming on strong. We could sell our pain like it was nectar from a tangerine. A brick through the window, gonna be my great big crescendo. The neon lights, they bend and begin to spell my name. It's so uncommon, it's a muster of us because this train. We sell our pain like it was nectar from a tangerine. A brick through the window, gonna be my great big crescendo. As I'm crashing through the window, everybody said, we come to say sayonara. Say it when we play our guitars. I know you don't know how temporary it is, kid, how ignorant we are. Dollar bill can't buy, it only goes so far. And I'll take it as a compliment when you call me crazy, 'cause I used to be ignorant, boring and lazy, and making something from nothing. It's my intention to be using your trash and giving you brand new dimension. Making something from nothing, it's my intention. Using your trash, give you new dimension. We come to say sayonara. Say it when we play our guitar. No, you don't know how temporary we is, kids, how ignorant we all are. You know your dollar bill can't buy, it only goes so far. I know you don't know how temporary sorry it is, kids. How ignorant we all are. You know your dollar bill can't buy. It only goes so far.
I was going to ask how growing up here in Ventura influenced your music and what you write about lyrically or musically, but maybe it's more about the polarization between the two locations. Or
what happened with that was that, like, I grew up playing punk rock here in California, and we had a great scene, you know, everybody, so many friends, you know, playing shows together, and but punk kind of was boring to me to play. I mean, like, I loved to listen to it, but to play it was too loud and chaotic for me. So, like, I wanted to, but I still believed in what they were saying, you know, and so my whole thing was to write listenable songs with punk lyrics. And still to this day, it's like, that's my kind of thing, you know, like, that's what I want to do. When I got to New Orleans, I didn't play much. I mean, I had barely played out even here. Singing my own songs at least, or having my own lyrics. But there, I played some open mics, and it was really cool and got good response, you know, from, you know, the 5 people that were there all drunk and whatever, you know, at whatever bar it was. And it really influenced me the way, like, the jazz music, they would play really fast. And punk rock would play really fast too. So, but it was like so much more artful, or, you know, it's had this vibe to it that, I don't know, just, I thought meshing that all together would sound cool. And I mean, out of the best compliments I've ever got, you know, like, it's just like, you know, kudos to Deepak. He's doing something different, and, you know, he's not following everybody else, and it's good, you know. So I felt like, yeah, I succeeded, you know. So
I have a question about, like, the melody and your strumming, and what's influencing you there?
I will try to, like, honestly, like, rip somebody off, like, a song, like, I have the song Evil Twin, you know, and I was trying to rip off Morphine, but this Morphine song, Cure for Pain, but it doesn't sound anything like it, and, you know, Morphine doesn't even have a guitar in it, but I just liked the melody. And, you know, I don't know, I don't know where it came from. Like, I couldn't even tell you. Like, I mean, I tried to rip this off, but it was, like, kind of jazzy too, and, you know, it is what it is, and the lyrics lend to it, whatever, you know, melody or what has to happen, I guess, to make it sound cool or whatever. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Okay. It's a very unique sound. Like, there's a very old, almost folk, you know. And so, name a couple of artists that are, well, Morphine, I can appreciate Morphine, but their influences.
To me, I mean, to who I wanted to sound like, I guess. I mean,
or that helped form your sound.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't even know. I mean, like, I'll just say the bands I love, because I don't really know where my style came from, honestly. Like, I mean, I think it was just as organic as, like, you know, whatever, you know,
uniquely
how
Deepak.
I skateboard, which isn't very good or anything, but, you know, it's just like, I don't know, like, when I was young, it was Jane's Addiction and Minor Threat and, you know, Dead Kennedys and stuff. And then you know, going on that road trip to New Orleans, I heard the Pixies, and they were already broken up. I mean, Nirvana too. Pearl Jam was huge to me, you know, like, but I never wanted to sound like Pearl Jam, you know. I wanted to sound different. I wanted to sound like, in my head, more punk, you know, more punk rock, but like, lyrically what they were saying, and, you know, it was a new sound. Grunge was a new sound, so I was totally into grunge and stuff, and Alice in Chains. But when I got to New Orleans, you know, it was like the Pixies, and then I discovered Tom Waits, and it was just, you know, these things just really, Beck just knocked me out of my head. Like, is this guy serious? I mean, yeah, I mean, just stuff like that. the New Orleans klezmer all-stars playing like fast wedding, you know, Jewish music, but the best thing you ever heard and the funnest thing to ever dance to, you know, and like, you know, finding them like at some club on Mardi Gras or, yeah. I got a vibe, I got a vibe, I got a vibration. I got a crush, I got a crush, I got a concussion. I got a clue, I got a clue, I got a conclusion. I gotta lose you, I gotta lose you, I got an illusion. Ain't got no roots growing into the ground. Ain't got no electric cord going to my heart, but it still pounds. I gotta run, it'll be fun just where I am bound. I gotta go where I can be found. Who's winning the war you made in your mind? You said the bombs sound like wind chimes. Your kids go tripping on your landmine. In your eyes you got dollar bill signs. Your ideas that you pursue and got us laying in the ruin. Your ideas that you're pursuing's got us laying in the ruin. Your idea you pursue got us laying in the ruin. Your ideas that you pursue got us laying in the ruin. I got lost and I got loose, I started using. I got bruised but I got shoes, I'll keep on moving. The TV's the tube, you got sucked through, you started losing. You got bruised but you got shoes, you'll keep on moving. I'm getting used to it, every time I die's just another trip. Well, I'm getting used to it, every time I die another resurrection. Don't need your sugar water, don't want your sheltered daughter. Not gonna kiss her face and start my falling faster, farther. Don't need no sugar water, don't need your sheltered daughter. Not gonna kiss her face and start my falling faster, farther.
You can't go without making a comment.
Yeah.
It's not comfortable to move forward without saying something in response to something that's going on. And I've heard some of that in some of the music that we heard today.
When I think about like trying to be political in a song or something, it's kind of like a contrast with me, because I'm like, you know, people, are they going to come and check me out, play some music, and am I going to depress them because I'm talking about these things that are, you know, a bummer? Or do I want to uplift people, you know, and like, and say it's okay, we're free from it. It's like a both, you know, this and that thing. What has interested me though more is like, that these songs that I wrote a long time ago are still so current with their stories, you know? And like a lot of the songs like I wrote about, like from the time I was 22 to when I was 30, all through my 20s, George Bush was our president,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So like me as a young man, what do I have to look up to, you know, like as a role model? It's this guy who, you know, talks like an 8th grader and doesn't read books, and, you know, it's like if I was president or something, you know, it's like, do I deserve that? No, I don't, you know, like I want somebody who was my best teacher, you know, to be my president or whatever, you know, and so they're really current. So songs that I wrote back then, but they still apply because, you know, like the President Obama now, you know, this guy who's going to be our savior has done some awesome things, like don't get me wrong, but he's still, you know, he's governed by corporations. He's bought. He can't say certain things. He has to say it a certain way because he'll get fired, you know, or whatever, you know, like, I mean, you know, Monsanto, why is your wife partnering with Monsanto for the good, like, whole, you know, teach people to eat better, you know? I got dressed and I went west toward the shore. Rain started pouring when I stepped on my skateboard. Got all my dreams duct taped at the seams, and all my reasons seem to be bleeding. But when by the building is gonna be the breeze through the trees now. Everybody separates to find the unity somehow. Oh, you know, them thieves didn't steal a thing, but they led you to the edge and watched you fall on in. You're too busy worried about something that you got no business in. And every child needs an escape. I hope it's not lies, I hope it's not hate. Got you hooked on a video game, nothing better to numb that brain. Some got no better role models than the president who's a thief on a throne, and the cops are the criminals on patrol. Now the neighborhood kitty got a gang of his own. Oh, you know, them thieves didn't steal a thing, but they led you to the edge and watched you fall on in. We're too busy working, creating. That graffiti on the walls, your brainwashed reflection. And when by the building is going to be the breeze through the trees now. Everybody separates to find the unity somehow. My chest it had blown down deep, and my mind time froze it to a fossil. For humanity I do weep, when reality seems so awful. Someone had killed your soldier when you had turned your shoulder. Your dark blue uniform will be torn in the storm. Every child needs an escape. I hope it's not lies, I hope it's not hate. Got you hooked on a video game, nothing better to numb that brain. Some got no better role models than the president who's a thief on a throne, and the cops are the criminals on patrol. Now the neighborhood kitty got a gang of his own.
I understand that you were maybe on the cutting edge of the biodiesel situation. Tell me a little bit about your story.
With biodiesel, I was living at this place called The Shack in Oxnard on a flower farm, and in this dilapidated old house that some friends had fixed up. And then, anyways, I was like, you know, I was getting together my music, and so I was like, yeah, I'm going to go on tour. And then I saw this article on the cover of the LA Weekly about this guy who was converting, you know, diesel cars to run on vegetable oil, and he lived up like at the top of the plateau of Ojai, you know, like way up there. And so I went up there and I found him, and just like went up there with my mom in a car ride and was like, let's find this dude. So I found him, and long story short, you know, we kind of had a falling out, me and this dude. And so I'd bought a Mercedes-Benz. I'd sold my Nissan truck that I lived in, you know, at the shack, like had a big old camper shell. It ran great, you know, and sold it to buy this Mercedes-Benz that ran off vegetable oil, supposedly, you know, and had a system that this guy had installed in there. And so we had a falling out right after that, so I kind of just had to figure it out myself. It's last call, this is all. It's last call, this is all. It's last call, this is all. Last call, this is all. Last call, this is all. Too much pressure, but I'm gonna make sure that it means much lesser offered in a brochure. Now you talk and you talk about what belongs to you. Well, it's more like what we belong to. 'Cause nothing belongs to you. Temporary in a skin suit. All obsessed with possessions until I get put in another dimension. All obsessed with possessions until I get put in another dimension.